The magic of the Baja Peninsula awaits. The desolation and ruggedness of Mexico's peninsula calls to our adventurous spirit. The individual challenge and the unknown of Baja is the draw. Mountains, cactus, beaches, and all that Wild Baja has to offer is home to the Desert Assassin's 16th annual Moto Adventure. 8 days, 1,400 miles, 26 riders, and one majestic peninsula. Risk versus reward, the challenge of the unknown and the lure of Land's End. This is the 2021 Monster Energy Rip to Cabo, presented by Honda Motorcycles.
Well, there you have it. The 2021 Monster Energy Rip to Cabo, presented by Honda Motorcycles, is across the border. Worked with the government officials a little bit, just made sure everything's good, and seems all stoked. We're kind of on a nice cruise day, headed for Horsepower Ranch. Get some Los Panchos tacos, one of my favorite taco stands in all of Baja. And just really excited to be back after, I think it's 570 days since Rip to Cabo 2019, and just showing respect to the people of Baja, and that's almost a little overwhelming. Come ride my dirt bike. Welcome to Tecate. And here we go, Rip to Cabo.
The Baja is a magical place for sure. Every time we come down here, it seems like it hits you in different ways, special ways. I really love about riding in the Baja is that it's truly a place still where nothing else matters but what's right in front of you. And when you're on your motorcycle in Baja with your boys, and you're doing death-defying rides like this, it's awesome for the freedom part of only worrying about what's in front of your front fender, and that's it. And you let go of everything else that's your worries of work or your relationships or whatever else might be happening back home. You seem to lose all that when you're in Baja, and I love that.
Just a little fine tuning, you know. I figure we're here in the pine forest, beautiful afternoon, and you know, tools in my hand, which I know everybody's laughing because I normally don't work on my own bike. We're down here in Baja, and we got rare footage of Cameron Steele working on his own equipment. In case you're wondering about my tie-dye shirt, my daughter tie-dyed my Ricky BRABEC shirt for me, so I've been running it under my jersey.
Rip to Cabo is an 8-day moto adventure where we test our bikes and ability while riding some of the most remote and difficult terrain on the planet. But we also spoil ourselves and goof around plenty at places like Horsepower Ranch just outside Ensenada.
In order to conquer Baja, in order to make it from California to Cabo San Lucas, it's a team effort. We've created some teams, we introduced some skills, some challenges, things like that. We call them frays.
Is that a natural red color?
Having different teams just kind of, you know, it brings a competitive edge, and we're all competitive. We have a good time with each other, and there's a lot of arguing going back and forth because we all want to win, right?
Oh, yeah, baby! We're gonna kill!
Buffoonery at its finest. The circus has arrived in Baja. Horsepower Ranch 2021 Monster Energy Rip to Cabo, presented by Honda. For me, it's not just a journey of a lifetime every time, it's a journey of fun every time, and just getting everybody together, getting out, smelling the dust, smelling the pine trees, and just feeling Baja. I love it. When we come back, we'll ride some more dirt bikes because, hey, we can't stay in Horsepower Ranch all week.
Baja, for me, it's like getting to ride in a perfect scene from the movie Tombstone. It's the Old West. You get what you give, and you are out here fending for yourself.
The Baja is a magical place for sure. Every time we come down here, it seems like it hits you in different ways, special ways. Whether it's the scenery or the freedom, I love it all.
9 a.m. on the dot. Just left Horsepower Ranch, following the circus. 64 degrees. We are on our way. At the end of the day, we'll end up in El Rosario, which I love it. It's great there. Good food, good beds. A long way to go. I think it's 200-something miles today.
got something going on here that you wouldn't normally see in the United States. This is what we have traffic jam in Baja. And so, you know, we have to give way to the creatures and the cattle and the ranchers and give a little respect. No big deal. A couple minutes out of our day.
We were out on the Pacific side, riding through some fun two-track, and we were moving. Everybody was starting to open it up in this area. Eric unfortunately hit a ledge in the left two-track and went over the bars and threw his bike probably 100 feet.
Look at the distance he covered. Dude, he must have been going way too fast.
Yeah.
You know, he's a very accomplished rider. Something as simple as just a little 5-inch ledge, it ended up throwing him over the bars, probably going 60 miles an hour. So it was pretty scary for everybody.
Dude, that's a long track. I got 54 paces at 3 feet times. That's 150 feet before his bike stopped.
I'm very surprised he wasn't hurt more. He walked away, rode his bike out, and his bike was pretty messed up. That day, he kind of ran out of talent.
You know, one of the things about trying to conquer Baja is that you know going into it that anything can happen and it's dangerous. But between the medics, the helicopter that we had, it really made that situation work out pretty well. We were able to get the injured rider over to the truck. Thankfully, it wasn't a life-threatening injury.
Found it. Found it. Was it recording? Oh, right on. Tell me it's recording.
Yes, it is.
Hey, look.
Walk over here.
Who got the shot?
One of the things we have to deal with in Baja is to be ready for anything. We have all the danger of the terrain, we have all the mechanical problems, and sometimes we even have health issues.
The riding medics on the 2021 RIP to Cabo are myself, Ben Rosenthal. I work at Carlsbad Fire Department. We have Mike Meyer, who works for Glendale Fire Department.
It's my 8th RIP to Cabo this year, and it's been quite an experience for me in my life. It's been a huge part of my life now. I mean, getting to meet all the people.
What's your favorite part about being with all your brothers in Baja?
The shenanigans. Putting the guys' bikes in the roof, sharpening their goggles, hiding Manny's gear in the cactus over there because he thought he could put it in the truck and it was okay.
Where's Manny's gear?
He's got a little cow dung in his gear.
Horse poop. Well, it's official. It's on. Well, well, well.
You know, I'm riding, having a good time, pushing the envelope a little bit, but I know that I'm one of the riding medics that's here to do a job and take care of people that get hurt on the trail.
It's more serious than people think down here if something happens.
One of the things that we've done for the last decade or so is we always ride with medics on the trail, trained, professional medics that can treat us as best as they can in an emergency situation.
What the medics bring to the party is confidence for all of us to know that if anything were bad to happen, we would have somebody right there to help us.
Blessed that Cameron trusts me to lead the medics on the trail and get everything set up for every trip he does, and had to use our skills. And we all work together to make it out and to get people out of here.
We wouldn't want to ride without him for sure. And as a matter of fact, I wouldn't recommend anybody ride down here without him.
think this is where everything just starts. So we're heading towards Catavina today, and these are some of my favorite trails on the whole peninsula. So kind of got warmed up, a lot of fast stuff, a lot of Baja race course, and now we're gonna go towards the Never Never, and I'm excited.
El Rosario to Catavina is probably my favorite riding area in the whole peninsula, the best single track in all of Baja. It's hard to beat going through all the cactus and the boojum trees or Sirius trees. The scenery is just unbelievable. And it was just fast, flowy, technical, all in one.
Just came through the Boojum Highway, and we have a little bit of the Bonin Brothers circus going on over here. We got Andy, who's the middle brother, and he's really the technical expert on the group. I believe he prepped the bikes, and I've noticed that Ben and Pete have already had problems with their bikes, so that's going to be I blame on Andy. But Pete, see Pete laughing down there? That's part and parcel to the Bonin Brothers. Let's find out a little bit more about what makes these big brothers tick.
My name's Peter Bonin from San Juan Capistrano, California.
Your older brother, right? He's
I'm the oldest.
Oh, you're the oldest.
Yes.
Okay, younger brother then.
Yeah.
That's a compliment because I think you look younger than him. Yeah.
That's what people are saying recently, and I'm really digging it.
Right.
Let's see. We got little brother Ben, who he used to like to get punched in the face a lot. So he used to do ultimate fighting and kung fu and all that stuff before it became cool and mainstream.
Bonin, the hair's on point.
Thank you. My brother teases it while I'm sleeping at night, and makes me wake up looking pretty.
I was always the biggest growing up, the strongest, and then all of a sudden, Andy started eating more, and he became the biggest.
Yeah, baby, Andy's here. Look at me. I'm the panda.
Need to be able to break away and, share the beauty of Baja with them. I've been coming down here for a number of years and doing it. I know they've been wanting to check it out, and so it's a pretty special moment to have both of them down here and that we're all capable of doing something like this. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Bonin is just a natural leader. He has a way about him that the guys just kind of respect his leadership, and I think it comes from just his knowledge of Baja over several years.
Yeah, first time being out in front the whole time, and a little more challenging. Have to stay a little more focused and try not to get everybody lost. Try to map it out and try to look at the course before we take off for the day, so kind of have a basic idea.
His riding skills are definitely level above, and it gave me confidence to follow behind him from the border all the way down to Cabo, no doubt.
The Monster Energy Rip to Cabo, presented by Honda Motorcycles, is brought to you by Monster Energy, Method Race Wheels, lighter, stronger, faster, Baja Designs, the scientists of lighting, and by VP Racing Fuels, more than fuel.
In this fray designed by Corey Fowler, the 5 people from each team, starting right now, need to line up their bikes in numerical order, their entire team, on their team side with the lowest number closest to the cactus.
He's number 1.
We're done on this side. There's a big problem because
because Cameron is on the yellow team giving us instructions, giving us wrong information.
This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get on the bikes. Everybody's gonna ride nice and mellow past this guy's ranch out here. We're gonna ride out here maybe 8-ish or so miles, and then we're gonna bank a left onto Bill's Cactus Canyon.
Bill's Cactus Canyon is probably my favorite trail. It's fast, rocky, but flowy enough where you can be in, you know, second, third gear just moving through the cactus. It's hot, there's not a lot of wind. It's up and over ravines and up on top of ridges, and it's just up and down the whole time, and you just keep moving. It's really hard to beat. Coming through Bill's Cactus Canyon, the biggest problems we had were cactus.
We got cactus.
Ow. Myself got impaled with some Troya cactus. A lot of people had cactus impalements. We have a great group of riders this year that just keep moving and are very, very impressive to ride with. You know, I always thought I was a great rider until I ride with this group, and it humbles you because we're all at pretty much the same level, I feel like, and we all just move, and it keeps the trip flowing.
Sun, lots of cactus, lots of rock. A couple of the guys went down, I went down, but I think everybody's safe. Good fun day.
Good. I took on some cactus, so my hands are full of cactus. I came in with no gloves. I don't think I've ever ridden with no gloves in my entire life. But there was so much those little tiny cactus in my gloves that I'm gonna spend a few hours tonight pulling some of these things out of my hand. But the trail was awesome. I had a blast. It was well worth it.
Rip to Cabo. We got my teammate Nacho Cornejo here. Nacho, first time in Mexico, first time on the Rip. What do you think?
Yeah, looking forward to the ride here in Baja. I'm super stoked, always hearing all the stories with Ricky, Johnny, Kendall. So I'm stoked to be here, so ready to have some fun.
Stoked to be here though. This is like absolute bucket list item to go down here and do this. Never ridden dirt bikes in Baja. Always wanted to do it. I feel like for me, Catavina is the beginning of like the cool stuff that you see in Baja. The size of the cactus, the shape of the roads, the type of rocks. I mean, I love rocks. Actually, I hate rocks, but I love rocks.
Yeah, Catavina to a moto guy is probably the epitome of Baja and single track. That whole area, you could stay for 3 or 4 days and ride single track every single day, come back, have a place to stay in Catavina. You're not on the ocean, you're kind of in the middle of the mountains, in the middle of nowhere, but people have put in so much time and effort putting these trails together that it's hard to beat that area.
Those little innocuous roads in Baja that you just never know. This little glorious sandy 2-track leads to a wouldn't call it diabolical, but I'd say a rock-filled, former cow trail turned mostly hard endurance trail. It's not for everyone, and we keep it kind of low-key.
Cameron and the guys had rode this trail on Hellride, and all we had heard from it, it was super rocky, and that guys were over it. You know, guys that are like very good single track riders, they're great in the technical stuff. We're like, when is this gonna end?
I guess Jimmy Sones put that trail together, and it was difficult.
My favorite part on that day riding, that we all were able to sit and watch each other go through it. It makes it nerve-wracking when everybody's watching you come through some of the technical areas.
And that's kind of the theme of it, right? It's got some tough little sections, but the heckle might be more tough than the riding itself, but that's what makes it priceless. Sponsor entry of the Cabo presented by Honda Motorcycles. We'll be back to this little rock section in just a minute.
When you're in a situation like that and you're a rider and you're kind of waiting for your turn, it sucks because you know that you don't want to look like a fool when you're going through it. So when you get up to it, people are like whiskey throttling it and doing all these things. Like I said, when everybody's watching, everybody makes a lot of unnecessary moves, I'll say.
Everybody's cheering you on. We had like a bleachers section set up. And everybody's filming, you know, and everybody struggled through it. There was only a couple guys that cleaned it. Even the Honda guys struggled through it. As in putting their foot down.
It's ridiculously hard. The trail wasn't burnt in like the way it was for us. You're not sure that you might have to turn around and go back out.
Is the backup plan to have a helicopter pull people out of here?
Everybody's trying to get up, and it's just like you get your front wheel up, and then your rear wheel falls in a hole, and then you get your front wheel over, and then it happens again. It's just like, you know, it's really big struggle there, and you know, we got each other's backs, but we like to see each other struggle a little bit.
I'm actually pretty impressed with my rock donkey buddy, Jason Shear. You know, he's a 3-time King of the Hammers winner, which is a, you know, big deal in the off-road community. So how'd you like that startup?
It's tricky, but I love picking the lines. It was funny to go from racing yesterday in the Bronco and then jumping on a bike today and riding and being like, wow, it's a totally different world. But everybody's been super cool, having a good time out here, and it's really fun. Beautiful place.
We're stoked to have them. It's cool to have people that are different that you're friends with come and join you. And Jason definitely has the heart of a lion and the soul of a kind person, and he's a good fit for Rip the Cabo. We're gonna have some fun getting down the peninsula with him.
Mild-mannered adrenaline junkie Jason Shear always keeps it cool and never seems distressed. Winning King of the Hammers is one of the most prestigious titles in off-road, and he's earned 3 of them.
The guy spends his career taking four-wheel drive vehicles over stuff that should not be driven on.
You know, what's funny about Jason getting on the bike was he did have some older gear and kind of mismatched.
He's got some old throwback moto pants on, the body armor, no jersey, holes in the body armor, and an older helmet. Next thing you know, that guy's just out ripping Baja. Like he just does it all the time.
Totally chill. I don't know how he's not a pro surfer. The guy is so mellow, so cool, but when you put him on a motorcycle, which he doesn't get to ride that often, he crushes it over those rocks just like he does in his specially built four-wheel drive vehicles. The dude's truly just awesome.
This is the beauty of Baja right here. You know, I'm here to ride my dirt bike, but more importantly, I'm here to hang out with my friends, old and new, and experience this gorgeous peninsula. I mean, this is Bahia de Los Angeles, and also known as Bay of LA, and it's just spectacular. I mean, this right here, that is why we come to Baja.
I try to be well prepped with biking gear, but most importantly, I think, is the mental game. So from the beginning, you want to make sure you don't go too hard out of the gates, day 1, 2, or 3, and preserve your equipment and your body. So stay out of the cactus, stay out of the rocks, and try to maintain a good pace while keeping up with the group, and then surviving to the next day.
Smack dab in the middle of the peninsula between the Sea of Cortez and the Pacific Ocean in a little place called El Arco. Now, way back in the days, the main road used to come through El Arco, and it's a big ore extraction facility. I would say the M word, but I can't, or I'd have to do some push-ups. Actually, pan just over here, you can see this cool little church that's out here in the middle of nowhere. And there's still a few people out here, and it's just kind of a almost desolate outpost, a throwback in time as we're riding through, mostly on big graded roads and 2 tracks, but what a spectacular day in the Baja. Wandering around in Baja and running into things that get me all tickled, right? The number 16 happens to be my race number, as you can see on my moto. So we're passing K16 here on the Rancho Correnta Road, and I thought I'd give you a little history lesson. For those of you who don't know, I'm a driver of the number 16 Monster Energy trophy truck. So we raced the Score Series, including the Baja 1000, Baja 500, and all those epic races. We were fortunate enough to win the Baja 1000 overall in 2018. I've been racing in the trophy truck class since, wow, for 16 years actually, I believe, since 2005. And I've been racing off-road cars since I was 12. I started navigating, and when I was 15, I started driving. It's pretty incredible just to have those little throwbacks to the racing and the fun, and I just thought I'd goof around and just give you a little bit of that piece of, you know, my history. Today, 283 miles with 26 of my buddies, and fun chase crew, raptoring, tremoring, motoing, all making our way through the dirt of Baja to come to this. It's just the magic of Baja. It's a majestic place, and if you haven't spent time here, you're missing out. More from the Monster Energy Rip to Cabo presented by Honda when we return.
The Monster Energy Rip to Cabo, presented by Honda Motorcycles, is brought to you by Monster Energy, Method Race Wheels, lighter, stronger, faster, Honda Motorcycles, and by Baja HQ, sharing the stoke of your off-road build. Scorpion Bay Hotel is a great home away from home for the Monster Energy Rip to Cabo presented by Honda Motorcycles. But no matter where we wake up, mornings always seem to consist of rocks, rocks, and more rocks.
Baby Cow Canyon is actually probably the most tough because it's like literally bowling ball rocks with sand mixed in together. I got really short legs. Some guys have long legs, they can put their legs out. Short guys can't do that. You have to just get up on your pegs and try to push through it.
Narrow tracks, challenging with the rocks. It kind of tested everybody. That was pretty crazy. Boulder fields that were just never been ridden on, I think. It was just incredible.
Very rocky and very remote, and you have to have your together to be able to get through there, and you know, it's not for everybody, for sure.
The terrain coming through Baby Cow Canyon's pretty tough. It's a lot of overgrown bushes. You know, we're following some old cow trail. We haven't been in that area in a few years, so everything's overgrown. A lot of different trails, ton of rocks, so you know, it's a little difficult navigating through it all, but managed to find the lines and get through it.
Jokingly, we call it the Rip to Lunch. You know, look at this location. I mean, along the Pacific Ocean, lighthouse in the background, little low dunes. And we call Alec Balin like he's spinning like a DJ, but he's really flipping tongs and food.
Hey, we're in Baja. Anything could happen.
Chase includes epic meals, but also well set up on-trail support trucks.
Having the Ford Raptor and the Ford Tremor on the trails is, honestly, I don't know if I would do this trip without them. In the Raptor, we have Paul Vanderveen.
Hey, dirt bikers, we need you over here for a picture for Scorpion Bay Hotel, or you're never coming back.
That's what we do, bro. That's what we do. Fake it till we make it.
And in Tremor, we had Ryan Chapin as one of the medics.
I'm Ryan Chapin, one of the paramedic riders. I'm a LA County fire captain, also a longtime paramedic.
You know, without having the support guys and the chase guys, none of this would be possible. Because we're not riding just highways and stuff where we can stop off at a gas station, or, you know, they're pulling trailers down with all of our parts and gear and having our bikes ready to be worked on each night. You know, it's pretty rad.
Load them up. Load them up. Need to load up. Load them up. Go over the truck. Grab.
They are so capable, and right behind us, I cannot believe how fast they are on those trails on the 2-track.
Another section that's definitely a crowd favorite is called the mangroves, but it's basically in the low-level wetlands around the water, and you get these certain types of trees that grow, and you get these like kind of 2-track lines that just kind of weave through them. But the best part is, because they're in these low-level grounds, there's a lot of moisture in the dirt. And so when you're riding dirt bikes, you want a little bit of moisture in the dirt because that gives you that tackiness where the tires grip really well. Most of what we ride is really dry, it's really dusty, and so it's slippery, and you have to kind of be careful. But in this section, it is on, and you see the guys revved up, ready to go, and they build these nice berms up in this nice wet, soft dirt. Also keeps the dust down so everybody can ride closer together. Come into the corners, let both wheels slide, 2 wheels slide into the turn, hook into the turn, accelerate out, no whoops, no bumps. Just talking about it makes me want to go back for more.
We're slabbing it. Okay. All right, so the decision has been made. For you guys that don't know that, The Ripped Cabo isn't just one person putting it on, it's all of us working together. So there's a panel of like 8 or 9 or 11 of us that bounce the ideas around, and we come up with different stuff for the riders. You know, a lot of these guys don't come all the time and they don't know it. So what we're deciding right now is, you know, do we go another 65 miles of dirt with an hour and a half of daylight left? In that dirt is 25 to 30 miles of straight sand whoops. And the decision has been made, right?
Yeah.
So we're all gonna get on the slab and ride for about 35 to 40 miles and get in to the VP gas station there. Waiting for us is a little celebration without all the fans, and just gonna hang out and relax a little bit in Constitution.
We're in Ciudad Constitucion, making the push through to the pass today. Loading up the gear bags, getting ready to roll.
It's pretty cool to look at the map and like, hey, we're almost that close, man, to Cabo. So having a great time. We've gotten to ride some awesome trails. Definitely some stuff I've never been on. Can't wait to ride to La Paz today. We're gonna get there shortly. It's all good.
The Sierra Giganta area we call the Baja Grand Canyon, just spectacular. And, you know, getting to share that with your friends, you know, and kind of disconnect and just be together as a group is pretty amazing.
You would think that coming down a lot, you would kind of get used to it, but I think that the stunning views just never get old. One of my favorite things about Baja is the variety of terrain, but probably my favorite thing, and really anywhere in the world, is always being in the mountains. You just get this grand sense, this grand view that just makes you feel so small. Definitely one of the most scenic places to see down here in Baja Sur.
The Monster Energy Ripped to Cabo, presented by Honda Motorcycles, has arrived on the Sea of Cortez, just above San Evaristo. We call this pass Danny's Pass, because one time Danny hated the rocks and was throwing his wrenches and got all upset. But Moss, myself, Johnny, Mark, we've all spent a ton of time in Baja, and it's just a great honor to be able to bring the Rip through here after the road has been reconstructed. But I mean, look at the view. How do you compare with that? People, get out and live it and smell it. Be safe, be smart, but get out and see it.
One amazing part of the 2021 Ripped to Cabo is roosting with Johnny and his boys from the factory Honda team.
So this year was pretty special. On day 4 was Johnny Campbell, Ricky BRABEC, and Nacho.
Nacho Cornejo, factory Honda HRC rally rider. This is a fresh fish. How you call him a fresh fish, I don't know.
First time here in the Ripped to Cabo. First time ever in Baja, so enjoying a lot. Some nice trails, technical like rocky area, so very fun.
I like all these guys, Johnny, Ricky, he's the same way, has a heart of gold, said hello, very humble. You know, when he did his introduction, same thing. He's a factory rider, but he's just a humble guy that wants to hang out and ride dirt bikes with good people.
Yeah, he's a madman. Yeah, I tried to keep up with him for a little while, and it wasn't too much fun.
Johnny Campbell, man, what a legend, right? 11X, but it was just a pleasure to ride with him, and what an honor.
I watched his movie, True Champion. He's another humble human being. You know, parts of that movie where he just kind of comes down to earth. I mean, he's talking about his wife, and you know, a tear comes to his eye, and it just shows you that he's human, just like the rest of us.
Ricky BRABEC just points that bike in a direction and he's off flying. He's super fast, talented rider, definitely in control, and the technique is amazing, impressive to watch.
Hey, so does Red Team get any points for putting the sticker on without any bubbles?
Those guys are just machines to watch on a bike, and of course they just kind of scoot right through and make it look easy. So going after them, you're like, oh, it can't be that bad, right? Those guys just scooted right through it. Yeah, wrong answer, because you get there and you're like, oh, where do I go?
Yeah, back on the rip is great. Finally back down here at the boys after a crazy year. You know, it feels great to be riding single track and hanging out with everyone.
Flies when you're having fun. A couple wounded bikes up here. All in all, it's been a great trip. Not a lot of drama.
Yeah, dude, last day. I'm so excited to get to Cabo. I'm also sort of sad not to be able to keep riding because this is the funnest thing ever.
Founded in the early 1800s, El Triunfo was once reported to be the largest city in Baja Sur. Urban legend says that Gustav Eiffel, who designed the Statue of Liberty and Eiffel Tower, also designed the town's iconic landmark.
The ride into Cabo is not, you know, it's not an easy ride, for sure. You have to be careful and you have to be mindful about what you're doing, every action. And even though we're all thinking about coming and kissing our wives and kissing our kids and seeing all of our friends.
We came in and the streets were lined with like official parade receptions. It was awesome.
The prep up above, you know, with the overhead decorations and all the workers there in their white outfits throwing rose petals.
And then Edith with the, you know, playing the conch shells, and it's a pretty surreal feeling.
Pulling down and seeing the wives and the kids and all the signs they put up, it's, you know, there's nothing can beat that.
Dude, you guys, that was so fun. I didn't know how much this one meant to me to go do this until I finished it. But it's such a good family of people and such an awesome experience. I'm so stoked to do it.
And then Mike Meyer popping the question right here at the office in Medano Beach in Cabo is pretty unbelievable. I think it's going to be a memory of a lifetime, and I'm stoked for Mike.
Super happy for Yeti doing that. It's a pretty magical thing to do. I think with your brothers on a, you know, after finishing a ride like that in front of everyone was pretty powerful.
my family, and I tell you, 8 days on the peninsula with my riding family is pretty amazing. But getting here to Land's End to be able to see my wife and my daughters here at the office, a great welcome by Carmen and Edith, the greatest hosts on the planet.
I think that Cameron Steele himself, you couldn't pick a better leader for this crew and for this pack. I trust that guy with my life for sure, and being able to see the love that he shares with everyone is amazing. Cameron has a heart of gold, and he also really truly cares about us and our safety and getting us down here all in one piece and happy, and I enjoy every part of what Cameron does. It's great.
Everybody did such an amazing job, so beautiful. The peninsula is perfect. The people were really open, and it's a journey of a lifetime every time. That's gonna do it for the Monster Energy Rip to Cabo presented by Honda Motorcycles. I love you, man. And we love you guys. We'll see you next time we ride to Cabo.